I have a perspective on this, Yusuf. I think it's very, very difficult to look at something like global thematic ETF and say, like, how am I supposed to predict that? You're not going to do it. And if that's your mindset, as like, if you're trying to start a company or trying to like come up with the next thing to invest in, being at that level of granularity is not helpful, because it's not going to yield the result that you want. You need to rise up above like way higher levels. So like what did thematic global ETF come out of? It came out of a move from investors to want more say in what assets they hold. Like that is probably the next level up. For example, I'm making this up on the fly, but like you could probably have predicted to say that in the future, rather than just holding a bucket of assets in, let's say, a mutual fund, and you have no idea what's in there and what the portfolio manager is doing, in the future, people will care more about what they're holding, right? Why are people going to care more about what they're holding, like rising another level up? Because access to knowledge and information is going to be ubiquitous, let's say. So access to knowledge, once people have more knowledge, they're going to want to leverage that knowledge to make more decisions and enact more control. So I've moved up from thematic ETFs to like self-directed trading to like knowledge being ubiquitous. Like what's the top level of that? It's like mobile. Everybody has knowledge at their fingertips because of a mobile device. And so like, I think that's the way to think about these progressions. Is it's probably not helpful to just be forecasting mobile. Like right now we can probably talk about things like decentralization, you know, with everything blockchain, crypto. We could probably talk about things like quantum computing, but that's not going to yield an answer. We can go all the way down and talk about stuff like thematic ETFs. That's probably not going to yield an answer either. So we got to be in that middle zone of focusing on like, with these new top level themes, what are going to be some of the major impacts and considerations on our behavior as human beings, and what opportunities yield out of that. And I think if you go back, it makes things look very obvious. Like Robinhood is a very obvious concept, that we're going to empower people to make their own self-directed trades. Uber is a very obvious concept, that we shouldn't be calling a number and scheduling, that we can just order a taxi. It's very obvious if you think about access to geolocation and mobile, and like it's an obvious thing if you get on. So that I mean, I'm still not giving you your idea for your next startup. It requires a lot of thought, but I'm trying to articulate the band of prediction area you need to be in. Not too granular, not too high, but you need to think about the whole spectrum.